Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how you can allow your users to choose one of the AI photo effects that RightBooth offers. So basically we're going to go through a photo capture event, and this is the one here. So we've got the start screen, we have a get ready screen, we have a take photo screen, then we show the photo to the user, and then we thank the user, and then we go back to the start screen. So what I'll do is I will add the various AI effects in to allow the users to choose them. So you do that in the designer. We go to event structure and down to photo AI, and this is where you can choose which photo effects you want to put in. So I'll start off with just the face swap. So let's try that. Ask the user. Now if I go back into the editor, you'll see that there's a new screen here, face swap AI, and I've put a few on here, so it's already designed. So the flow now is that after the take photo screen, the user chooses a face swap image and then the photo is shown. So this flow is very straightforward because there is only one AI photo effect included. Let's include another one. This time I'll also include modify photo, ask the user, back into the editor, and now you can see there are these two screens. We've still got the face swap screen, but we now have the modify image AI screen. Now the normal flow is, in this situation, we start, we get ready, we take a photo, it then shows the face swap screen, the user chooses a face swap, and then it takes the user on to modify the image. Now you might not want to allow your users to have to do both one after another. You might want to allow them to choose either to do the face swap or the modify image. So what I want to do here is show you how you can actually implement that. So the first thing you need to do is to add a new screen. So let's add a screen here, and I'm going to call it choose. Now it puts a blank screen in here. Now the first thing I'm going to do is move it down the list so that it's below the take photo screen. So this screen will appear after the photo has been taken. Now on this screen I want to include some options. So let's do that. I'm going to add a button, and I'm going to add a label, and I'm going to call this label, let's describe that as face swap. Let's just size this and put it next to this button. Okay, now I'll select both. I'm going to copy them, paste them back in, and I've now got a copy here. But this one I'm going to edit and just say modify image, or modify photo, let's call it that. Let's put these over here, and I want a title, another label. Let's say choose your AI effect. Now obviously you can make this screen as pretty as you like. I'll just leave it like this for now. So what I want to do is I want this screen such that when they touch this button, it takes them to the face swap AI screen, and when they touch this button, it takes them to the modify image AI screen. So on this button, I'm going to give it a click action, which is show screen. And in here, I'm going to type the name of the screen that I want to show, and it is face swap AI. And there we are. Now with this one, I want to also have a click action, which is show screen. And again, I want this time to show modify image AI. So let's do that. You could also put them on these labels as well, these click actions, but right now it's just on these buttons. So let's describe what will happen here. So in this situation, we'll start, get ready, take photo, then this choose screen will appear. Then the user can choose one of these two. Now, if they choose modify photo, what will happen is that RightBooth will jump over to the modify image AI screen. So they'll click this button and it will take them to here. So that will bypass the face swap AI. They can then choose a photo modifier, click OK, show their photo. Now, if we start again, next user comes, get ready, take photo, choose. Now in this case, if they choose face swap, this will take them to the face swap AI screen. They will choose a character, click OK, RightBooth will perform the face swap, but then RightBooth will move on to the modify image AI screen. So that's not what we want. So how do we prevent the face swap AI screen moving on to the modify image AI screen? Well, this is where another trick comes in, and that is to add another screen. So let's do that. I'm going to call this screen skip. So I'm going to edit this screen now. I'm going to set it to be black. So we go for here. So it's a totally black screen. I'm going to set the display time to something very, very small. So I'm going to make it 0.01 seconds. And I'm going to get it to go to the show photo screen. So let's do that. So this screen is only going to show for 0.01 seconds, and then it will jump to the show photo screen. So what I'm going to do now is put this skip screen after the face swap AI screen. So the flow now is that start, get ready, take photo, make a choice. If somebody chooses to face swap, they'll go to this screen. They can then swap their face. Then RightBooth will go to the skip screen very briefly, and then it will time out to the show photo screen. In other words, it will skip over the modify image AI screen. So I'll just play this event. Now the thing to say here is I don't have any face swap or photo modifier API keys installed at the moment. So when I play this event and go through the process, you will see an error message. But that's only because I haven't connected up to the API services. So you can ignore those. So let's try playing it and try a few different combinations. Okay, play the event. First user comes up, takes a photo. They decide to modify the photo, choose one of these, click OK. The AI effect was applied. Obviously you've seen the error, and then it showed the image. That was a bit quick. Let's just try that again. I'm just going to add a bit more delay on the show photo screen. So we'll look at properties. It's only set to show for 2 seconds. Let's make that 4. Okay, let's try again. User takes a photo, then chooses face swap. So watch what happens this time. I'll choose a character. Now when I click OK, so it will perform the face swap, and then you should see a quick flash of a black screen before it goes to the show photo screen. So watch carefully. There's the quick flash, and we're on to the show photo screen. So essentially what we're doing here is is skipping over various screens with this skip. So let's try adding another AI effect. So go back out into the designer, go into Photo AI. This time I'm going to include background replacement. So I'll put ask the user. This adds another screen into the workflow, and that's this background image AI. So now we have 3 AI effects in here. So I'm going back to the choose screen. I'm going to add another choice. So let's take these, copy them, paste them in, move down here. Let's say replace background. Now in this situation I want to have this button with a click action, which is currently modify image AI because I copied it from here. So I'm going to change this to go to the background image AI screen. That's here. So we now have 3 choices for the user. So let's just take a look at this screen. And as you can see, I've already designed a few background images to replace. So the user now has 3 choices to make. The problem at the moment now is that if the user chooses to modify the photo, it will take them here. And after the photo has been modified, it will then move on to the background image screen. So what we need in between these two is another skip screen. So I'm going to go to this one. This time I'm going to copy this screen, paste it in, and call it skip 2. So this is an identical screen, skip 2, which is up here. Let's just move it down and put it between these 2 screens. And again, this has got the timeout and it times out to show photo. So now what we'll find is if the user chooses to modify the photo, they'll click here. It will go from the choose screen to this screen. And then after they have modified their photo, and it will show this screen for 0.01 seconds, and then it will jump to the show photo screen, bypassing the background image choice screen. So I hope you can see that by adding a choose screen and various skip screens, you can allow your users a choice of which AI effect to apply to their photos. Thanks for watching.